Garfield is out in theaters, and it did not premiere at Cannes. It premiered at your local Cinemark and AMC, where they are giving out buckets and are giving out like Garfield plushie toys. I saw somebody show up to the Furiosa screening. The man, the one who I told you was complaining about the title sequences. He pulled out his plushie toy, just started playing with it, bro. We saw it on a Monday. You made me hate Mondays for sure. I have, bro. I don't know. You gentlemen got to see the Garfield movie. I went back and saw Garfield the movie because, of course, they are all practically titled the same. And damn,
yeah, classic mistake.
Horrendous oldies that we had there. But for me, I actually did grow up watching the Garfield and Friends. Garfield and Friends. I don't know if you guys ever saw the animated series. Fantastic. Yep. Perfect weekend morning cartoon. What do we got going on here, boys? Because this is the one movie I missed this weekend, and I don't know if it was going to be up there, but Zach looks like you loved it.
Yeah, I'm a gigantic fan of the Garfield. No, I mean, look, I thought it was okay, right? Like, I think that Garfield's history of big screen adaptations is a pretty nefarious one, if that's the right word. It did not exactly glittered in success. So I think there's a lot of reason to have some nerves entering this movie, but I think what they essentially did is they played it real safe. They played it like really traditional. It's got a very kind of predictable story of how Garfield was separated from his parents, and it's got this warm-heartedness to it. Big celebrity voice name actors. For some reason, Samuel L. Jackson is Chris Pratt's dad in this universe. Don't know how that really lines up, but I mean, I think it was like, for a kids movie, it's okay. Like, there's a couple jokes here and there that work for me. You know, there's a part where a cat picks up a phone to call the police and starts, saying the call, and then you see the other end and it's just meow, 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 meow. Like, it's little silly bits here and there. So it's nothing innovative or like groundbreaking. I feel like if I was a parent and I had to take my kid to see movies occasionally to get them to leave me alone for a little bit, I could do worse than this one. Now, do I think this is like a soon-to-be classic? Do I think this has got a dark horse shot at the 5th Oscar nomination in Best Animated? No, it's not good enough. It's just kind of passable. I'm a little bit over this whole thing that we do with these characters where, like, whether it's movies like this or movies like the recent Scooby-Doo adaptation that Warner put out, where it's not just enough to kind of live in the world that the original cartoon created. We have to go on some big action adventure. We have to find out the secret story of your lost parents. We have to stop the world from whatever. And I kind of want to just see a movie about a cat who likes lasagna.
He's a lazy cat.
Yeah.
Why is it always like Despicable Me 5?
Exactly. Like, can he just like be in a weird fight with his nosy neighbor or something like that? Why does he have to like cross the continent? Is my main reaction to
you shouldn't believe the couch.
The state of children's entertainment. But Ewan, I think you'd like this one a bit less than I did.
There's more running in this from Garfield than in like some Tom and Jerry bits. It's like crazy that a lazy cat is.
His whole thing is he's supposed to be lazy. Like,
yeah. And so my short thoughts on it is like, somehow this makes the Minions look good. And
damn.
I feel like it has the same thing. It's not the same studio, of course, but I guess Sony can have their dots as well. I feel like this is on the level of like the Emoji Movie to me, on the same level of quality. And they have those needless like pop song needle drops as well in here that like Despicable Me and especially all of the Illumination films are really kind of known for by now. I think the basis of Garfield is I never was there a cartoon. I never watched a cartoon. I just know from the little comic bits that they're like, there's nothing there. It's really unfunny. It's the same bits over and over again. So I feel like when there's a standout thing, like a little silly thing that catches you off guard and it makes you giggle a bit or chuckle, then that's the most it has to offer. And then all of the slapstick stuff just really reminds me of really silly engagement made for like the lowest common denominator for children for the slapstick stuff, and it's not even like that good. So I didn't like it at all, but I went into expecting not to like it, so it's not like
I went into it also expecting
Sony,
not to like it, so I guess that's why I was like a little pleasantly surprised that I didn't want to rip my hair out. And I think the comparison with the Minions and Illumination in general is the right one. Like, I was even surprised this wasn't Illumination when I saw just the look of it, even the kind of plasticky look of these creatures.
I thought it was. It's Sony. What?
Yeah. But
this is what Columbia does for the 100th anniversary.
Oh, okay.
It's very safe the way that a lot of those Illumination movies are, and some of those Illumination films are better than others, but I don't think any of them really transcend the way that we would hope. We I don't know. Pratt's fine in it. He's not exactly like the most Garfieldian, but like it gets the job done.
He ate a lot of lasagna to prep for the role.
He doesn't like lasagna, which should be a no from the casting standpoint. It's like,
what? Liar, thieving, adulterer at heart. Between Super Mario Bros., Lego Movie, and Onward, I think it's a very self-explanatory ranking, but I don't even know what the question is to ask, because he's just going to be doing the same voice every single time. But I still think that Emmett has been the best embodiment of his voice acting. Yeah, because it really just is him as a average everyday goer. But I also feel like he's lost that now too, because he's also really gone into being, he's not Star-Lord the chump anymore. He's Star-Lord after Infinity War and Avengers. He's got the military movie. He's Jurassic World now. I don't think he can even be that type of character again. So maybe he needs to be more lazy, and for the sequel, we'll be able to get a good voice from Chris Pratt. Zach,
maybe
better than If?
Yeah, honestly, better than If. I just as heartwarming and not as maudlin.
Speaking of movies that are not better than If or Garfield,